Hi, I'm Magical, and I wanted to make another video doing a tarot reading about Trisha Paytas and whether or not she's actually getting married or if she's marrying herself. Because some people think that she might be marrying herself, or if she is marrying her palette shade name, her eyeshadow shade name, in Shane Dawson and Jeffrey's palette. So, in my last video on this, I found out from the tarot cards that Trisha is not marrying herself, and the tarot cards were kind of ambivalent about whether or not she was marrying her shade name. But I realized that I did not ask right out, outright, forthright, if she's marrying another man. I'm assuming she would be marrying a man because she said he, and she talked about them like they're her fiance. So, like a male fiance. So let's just go ahead and ask that right out, just to hopefully get a more clear answer on the whole Trisha wedding situation, because I still have not seen any news about it to confirm if I was right on my last reading. So, is Trisha Paytas marrying another man who is not herself, but is a man who is a totally different person from her, and is an actual person, and is an actual man person, and not her eyeshadow in Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star's eyeshadow palette? Answer that question for me, source, and all of my spirit guides. I place these tarot cards to appreciate energy game for love night. Okay, so I got the Six of Swords here, and my intuition tells me that this is a no. My intuition tells me that that card means no, but I'm going to look up what my favorite yes or no, well, I just go to her website. I go to Lisa Boswell's website to see what she thinks is the yes or no meaning of each card. Since I don't know the meanings by heart, the traditional meanings, I usually just read the cards with my intuition instead of going by what someone else thinks the meaning, the yes or no meaning is. But I like to check with with Lisa Boswell's website just to see if I'm on the right track or not with the yes or no meaning for the card. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go to her website real quick and let you know what Lisa Boswell thinks. Hey guys, so I just looked up on Lisa Boswell's website, and Lisa Boswell's website says that the Six of Swords, as like for the yes or no meaning of the Six of Swords, according to Lisa Boswell's website, she says if the question is about, she says, quote, if the question is about developing something or travel, then the answer is a yes. For most other types of questions, the Six of Swords is pretty neutral. So, that kind of goes against everything I said in my last video, because I got Temperance for if Trisha is marrying her eyeshadow palette name in, her eyeshadow name in the palette, and Temperance could be, well, I thought it was probably a yes, because Temperance is kind of one of those cards that could go either way. Like, it could be a yes for some situations, but it could be a no for other situations. So I thought that Trisha is probably just marrying her eyeshadow shade in the palette. But, now this card, the Six of Swords card, is making me think that maybe Trisha did actually get married to someone, because I would imagine that this card, I don't know, because this card is just kind of like, even if you got this card in a relationship reading, it's still kind of a neutral card. It's like a card that's like, well, things are kind of up in the air still, with the relationship. Things are evolving. Feelings are evolving. The feelings could go well, but it's too soon to know yet, So it's just kind of like, what in the world? Why is the tarot being so cryptic? I don't know. And I hate it when the tarot cards are cryptic and they don't just give me a card that's like an obvious yes or an obvious no. And then I have to use my intuition and, possibly get it wrong. So, I don't know. What I said before in my first video on this subject is that I think that Trisha is mirroring her eyeshadow shade in the palette. And so I guess that I stand by what I said. I think Trisha is probably just mirroring her eyeshadow shade in the palette. But I wish that Trisha was marrying someone real, and maybe she is. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess we will see. But this card is basically neutral, I think, for the question of marriage. I would say that this card probably has a neutral meaning. She says that when you get the Six of Swords in a future reading, it means that you could travel with your lover, or the card means a metaphor for the future of your relationship. So in the future, you guys could either get closer together in your relationship, so your relationship can either get better or your relationship can get worse and you two could drift apart. And basically time will tell what will happen. So the fact that we got the Six of Swords, that does make me think now maybe she is actually marrying a man, an actual person. And maybe things are just still evolving, because they did get married so fast. If this is a real person, they got married really fast. So maybe the feelings are still evolving, which is kind of like, why would you marry someone when, the feelings are still evolving and you don't really know, like, how you really feel about each other? Like, that's kind of like, why would you get married then? You should marry someone who you're sure that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. You should marry someone who you're sure, I love you forever, But like, I don't know, I guess Trisha just really did what I figured she was doing. If this was a real man, I figured that she was basically just getting married so she wouldn't be alone. And that's what her ex said on the phone with her on one of her last videos. And maybe that's why we got this card. Maybe that's why we got the Six of Swords. So, I don't know what to think anymore. But I get the feeling that Trisha actually did marry a human being. A man, specifically human being. And maybe she didn't actually marry her eyeshadow palette. But I don't know anymore because these cards are so confusing. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section, please. What do you think? I'm sure everyone just thinks that she's just mirroring her palette, her eyeshadow name, I mean, in the palette. So, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to me. And, I'm gonna make another celebrity tarot video soon. So watch out for that one, because I really want to do a reading on what Shane Dawson is feeling right now with regards to the launch. So I think I will put that video up really soon this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow, something like that. But I'm also doing more videos on the Sheen series, so maybe I'll do 2 videos in one day, I don't know. And have one video be the tarot reading on Sheen. But yeah, I love you guys. Bye.